Yes, sir. Please start.
A very good evening to one and all present here. Today we are in the 8th day session, and the session, our honorable speaker is here, Amit Bansal sir. He is a business coach, and the topic which we are going to deal today is effective leadership. Of course, no, everyone cannot be a leader because a leader is a person who leads. So sir will be speaking on that. Without much ado, I request Pratham Ponnacha, final year student of 3 years LLB, to introduce sir in nutshell. Over to you, Pratham.
It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Amit Bansal, an experienced business coach and corporate trainer, having 7 years of experience. Sir has successfully delivered over 625 training sessions to diverse range of clients and organizations. He expertises in topics like business skills, marketing, sales, leadership, communication, and soft skills, as well as artificial intelligence. He has helped over 100 businesses in scaling, trained over 21,000 employees, and is a startup mentor at Delhi Angels Den. His credentials are extensive. He holds a master's degree in business, bachelor's degree in electronics and communication engineering. He is a certified PCC level life coach. He is a certified business coach. Perhaps his achievements are so many due to constraint of time. I have just given a bird eye view. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invite for this online platform. Warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now the platform is all yours. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And the pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for such a glowing, introduction. Thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for having me over here. Before moving on forward, can I please request people, if you can just switch on your cameras, it will be very interactive for me as well. I would like to see some faces put together to the names that I'm seeing. Mr. Gangadhar, Tamizini, Roli, Nitya Shriji, Princey, Asha, Urmila, Thandra, Snigdha. If you can just switch on your cameras, it would be great. But if you feel ki nahi, we just have to relax and just listen to the session, I am still okay, but it would be great if I can see some faces behind these black screens. All right. So let us start with today's session. So Preeti ji has raised hand. Ma'am, you can unmute and speak, please, if you wish to speak something. All right. Then if you don't want to speak, let's start and dive in. Leading the way. Unlocking leadership potential in the legal fraternity. Yes, I understand that there are people from varied professions, varied backgrounds over here. But since primarily it is for the legal professionals, so that is why I have subtitled the session as Leadership Potential in the Legal Fraternity. As ma'am said, not everybody can be a leader. I would like to just amend it by few words. Not everybody is a born leader, but everybody can learn to be a leader, right? Leadership, again, is a soft skill, as we were discussing just now, and it can be learned by everyone. So before moving forward, I would want every one of you to have a quick look at this small video. And I would request everyone, after the video, we will discuss about it. So please pay attention.
सर आपके लिए उस पार कार का इंतजाम किया है सर। सर आइए सर। ये चल चल क्या बात करता है, क्या ऊपर से जाएगा, क्या ऊपर से जा जा।
गया मेन शो।
I hate this country. कुछ करो ना।
अब मैं वहां जाके क्या उखाड़ लूंगा।
कैसी
कैसी जाने बूंदे आई, जाने कैसा दर्द लाई, सामने क्या है ये तेरे, क्यों रुका है तू बता रे हो। कौन तुझको पार लेगा, कौन होगा वो मसीहा, वो जिसे तू ढूंढता है वो ही है तू, तू वही है। तुझ में तेरा रास्ता है, तुझ में तेरा है सहारा, तू ही तुझको पार लेगा, तू ही है तेरा किनारा। तुझ में तेरा रास्ता है, तुझ में तेरा है सहारा, तू ही तुझको पार लेगा, तू ही है तेरा किनारा। जिसे ढूंढता है तू ही रे, तू ही रे, तू ही रे तेरा मसीहा हो।
Yes, I understand that the video was in Hindi and many of you might not have understood it, but the point is to understand the feeling. Would someone like to share in the chat box or by unmuting what could they observe in this video? Yes, Namrata ji. Sir, do we have the rights to unmute and speak?
Yes, sir, they have right. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, Namrata
number,
ji,
sir.
unmute and speak, please.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Perfectly.
Yes, sir.
Clear.
So, by seeing this video, actually, I remember a great quote from Helen Keller. Like, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. So, thank you, sir. By seeing this video, I can understand that where everyone was silent, simply sitting thinking that it's not their job, that one little boy who took the initiative to clear the space so everyone can freely move. So that we can see, also we can see how when one took the initiative, others felt that we should also share their hands with him. And finally, when the team came together and everyone one came together, then the job could be done easily.
Great. Great. Let's have a
Yes.
round of applause for Namrata ji. And also a round of applause for Preeti ji, who in the chat box wrote everyone was just focusing on the problem, but they were really not taking any pain. Hence, a boy, after having observed all this, took a step of leadership. Yes. So, the point here is that you can be a leader irrespective of your age, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of your caste. For leadership, you need to have that feeling, that sense coming from within that, yes, we are a leader. Also, thanks to Bhuvneshwari ji, Tripti ji. Leader is the one who stands ahead for everyone. Absolutely, absolutely. And I would really appreciate to stay this interactive throughout the session. Thank you, Bhavna ji, for opening up your camera. Bhuvneshwari ji, for opening up your camera. I believe that certain camera permissions were not allowed earlier. So I would request everyone who can switch on their cameras. Let's make it very interactive. 1 hour will just pass by in a jiffy. I believe that. I hope to not be that boring. It will pass very quickly. So please, let's stay interactive. So what, according to you, is leadership? What do you feel is leadership? Anybody can unmute and speak. What is leadership? Is it about authority? Is it about position? Is it, can we say that, okay, I am the dean of this institution and therefore I have the right to be a leader? Can someone say that, no, okay, I am the representative of this class, so I have a right to be a leader? Is it something that comes from the position? Yes or no? Authority with responsibility and accountability, says Namrata ji. Okay. Taking responsibility to guide the group members and represent the members. Absolutely. It is about inspiring others, making informed decisions, and then also navigating the challenges that come your way, but with integrity. A leader without the zeal to inspire others, without integrity, doesn't have the right to be called a leader. Only a position doesn't entitle to be a leader. As very well said by the renowned Indian jurist and economist Nani Palkhiwala sir, who once wisely said, a leader is not made by their position, but by their actions, integrity, and the courage to stand for justice. This quote very beautifully captures the essence of leadership. In just one quote, he has summed up everything, especially if I talk about the legal profession, where actions often speak louder than words. Not by the position, but by actions, integrity, and courage. How many of you believe in this quote that a leader is not made by the position, but by their actions? Please write me in the chat box if you believe in this quote. Yes, thank you. So if you believe that a leader is not made by their position, then can someone tell me what would be the core qualities of effective leaders? Every effective leaders must possess certain key qualities that make them effective leaders. Can someone tell me or explain about any of these qualities that make a leader a very effective leader? Leading a team, says, okay, the team. Leading a
Hi, sir. This is Sharat. One is communication, one is initiative, and taking immediate actions.
initiative. And the third one you said is, Sharat?
Taking actions.
Okay. Also written by Triptiji, good listener and respecting everyone's opinion, ability to tackle the barriers on the way in a gentle manner, taking confidence, yes, don't wait for others to do the work, accountability and decision making, ability to influence, harmonizing conflicting grounds, accepting different opinions, and treating everyone with high respect, with utmost integrity and honesty. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, all these things are the core of an effective leader. An effective leader has to communicate and connect effectively. Whosoever is an effective leader has to communicate and connect very effectively with their teams. A leader is a leader only if there are people who follow them, right? If a leader cannot communicate or cannot connect with the people he is leading, he can never be a successful leader, right? He has to be a good communicator. He has to inspire confidence. Take the example of any good cricket captain. Let's say MS Dhoni. How many of you adore MS Dhoni, by the way? Most of you do, I believe. Most of India does, right? So he always inspires confidence. Even when the chips are down, when the game is not going our way, he inspires that confidence through his cool aura that no, that game is in our grip and we can still win from here. That confidence makes him the only captain ever to be having every ICC trophy in his closet, right? That is why his team has done wonders under his leadership. Then a leader has to demonstrate high emotional intelligence. IQ is important, but EQ is even more important in today's day and time. And if a leader is not high on emotional intelligence, he cannot lead purposefully the people that are looking up to him for change in their life, for change in their scenarios. A leader has to build trust. How many of you believe that a person who has lost the trust of his team can then never inspire their team to do wonders for him. How many of you believe that trust is the very important factor, or probably it is the first and foremost requirement for someone to be coming under our leadership to foster any good quality or change? That trust is important. How many of you feel that trust is very important? I'm looking for some answers in the chat box. Does anyone feel that trust is important? Okay. So I believe my system is lagging, I can say. Right? Am I audible, Kalpesh sir?
Yes, you are audible, sir. Yes,
Okay.
trust is very much important, sir. Without trust, if the confidence of the trust of the team is not there, then the leader cannot grow,
Absolutely true. Absolutely
right?
true.
And because the leader is known by his or her team only, sir. So the team is very much important. The leader cannot do anything. He can just inspire the team. He can just guide the team. But the work for working the team together will require the trust, and that trust is developed with this emotional intelligence also, as well as the trust between both the way. I'm not saying only the one party, both the way, because leader also has to believe on the capability of his team. He has to
Absolutely.
inspire the team.
Absolutely. Absolutely true. And you know what? Let us talk about an army general. Can the soldiers lay down their life for that general if they do not have the trust in his capabilities? Absolutely not. Right? So trust has to be there. He has to promote healthy failures. We always have heard, we always say that it is not bad to fail, right? Rather, failures teaches us a lot. So a leader has to be acceptable of the healthy failures happening under his leadership within his teams. He has to expand the common ground so that everyone that whosoever is following that particular leader can come on the same page and can come on the same conclusion, same decisions, even if they do not believe that that is the best possible way to go forward. But the leader should have that aura that he can expand that common ground and probably make people understand or believe in that point of view. He has to empower others. The people who make or entrust their team with something, but ultimately jump in right at the time where he thinks, the leader thinks, that the people are going to make a mistake. Such a leader can never have a fully developed team, because if he is not empowering people to take decisions as they go, if he is not fostering that much trust that I believe in your decisions, you go ahead and do what you feel is the best thing to do, then he cannot have a good team that is under his patronage. He has to deliver constructive feedback. वैसे I call it the feed forward rather than saying it feedback, right? Whatever opinions you might have about any of your team members, they should always lead your team members to move forward in life, right? It is not of any good that you put down a team member by doing destructive feedback about or the analysis, negative analysis of his work. Rather, you should always deliver a constructive feedback. You have to be integral. You have to be a person who sees everyone with the same eye. The day one team member can come up to you and say, okay, sir, you treated A differently and you treated me differently. That day is, you can say, the last day where anyone will see you as being integral. I understand that there are hard decisions to be made in life, right? People are not so much worried or so much wary of the hard decisions you make. Rather than, what they are worried about is when you see A in different light and B in different light, right? If in same situation, I am treating Kalpeshji differently and I am treating Guru Kiranji differently, right? Then I am not being integral, right? In that case, I have lost the respect of my team. Otherwise, however hard the decision, if they apply similarly to everyone, every team member, then nobody is going to put you in a fix or question your integrity. You have to be empathetic. Now, how many of, I'm sure it's a very, very learned audience, you all understand the difference between empathy and sympathy, right? Can quickly write it down for me in the chat box or unmute and speak if you understand the difference between empathy and sympathy. Anyone? If leader is a tree, then the team members are its roots. Absolutely true, Tripti ji. Can anyone speak the difference between sympathy and empathy? We have not written here sympathy. We are writing empathy. I'm sure some people are writing. It's good if anyone can unmute and speak also.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, empathy is more about being compassionate and understanding what other is going through. Sympathy is just feeling pity.
Absolutely. Let's have a round of applause for ma'am. Very well put by her. When you
Thank you,
just
sir.
feel bad for someone, right? That is sympathy. We have another input by Snigdha ji. Empathy is a deeper psychological feeling that seeks to understand while putting oneself in another's shoes. Yes, very true. But sympathy is a more distant feeling that doesn't seek to understand the situation in a much deeper way. Sympathy is pity. Yes, absolutely. So when we just feel bad for someone, right? I'm feeling very bad. Why did this happen to him or her? That is sympathy. But when you actually put yourself in someone else's shoes, that is called empathy, right? A leader has to be empathetic. Just as a situation, say, if you are leading a team and one of your team member comes late to office, right? Your team member comes late to office without asking anything. If you just start yelling at that guy or girl, right? That is very bad on your part, because we don't know what somebody is going through in their lives. So at least try and understand and be in their shoes from what they are coming from or what they are going through. That makes you a great leader if you can empathize with your team members. Always have an open and honest communication. A leader that at all points have an open communication, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, but have an open communication with your team members, those leaders are cherished, right? Those people who withhold information, those people who do good talks but withhold the ugly part of the communication are never seen in good light. So always have an open and honest communication with your team, right? And lastly, you have to have the ability to make tough decisions, right? My dear friends, I always say, and it has been quoted by many prominent speakers and leaders as well, leadership is not a popularity contest. Leadership is not a popularity contest. It is not about being popular. It is about being right. Right? At many times, you will have to take decisions which are not popular, but which are good for the team, for the organization, for the group that you are working for the group that you are leading. You have to take the tough decisions, not the popular decisions. For example, going back to the example of MS Dhoni, he might have to at certain times probably make one or two very popular players outside and not play them in the 11. Okay? That might not go down very well with the people, the citizens. Ki, oh, my hero is sitting outside. Dhoni has not taken him in the team. That's not good. This is not right. It might be not a popular decision, but Dhoni probably is taking those decisions as per the pitch, as per the opposition, as per a lot of factors. That is why he has to take those tough decisions. We all remember how when he joined and became captain for T20 team of BNI of India, at that very time, he had to rest many of the seniors, and that was very well opposed throughout the country, right? But that might not have been a popular decision. That was a tough decision. But see what that team did. They went on to win the World Cup, right? So it has to be the right decision. It might not be a popular decision. So these are few of the core qualities that effective leaders have. Now, having understood the qualities that various leaders might be having, let us try and understand what are the various leadership styles. Leadership isn't one size fits all. You go to a retail store, you go to an apparel store. Do you just look at the apparels that are hanging and you just choose the apparel and doesn't bother about the size? Is it so? No. We have to look at the color, we have to look at the style, and ultimately we have to look at the size also. Similarly, leadership is also not one size fits all thing. There are various leadership styles. Every style has its unique approach. From transformational leadership that inspires change to servant leadership that prioritizes the needs of others, we have various leadership styles. What we are going to quickly do, there are any number of types of leadership styles. If you go through Google, if you search through books, you would find dozens of leadership styles. But I am going to discuss with you very few of them, but which are very important, most observed leadership styles. Every style has its place, but the key will be to adapt your approach based on the situation and the people you are leading, right? So, number one leadership style is the transformational leadership. As the name suggests, can someone tell in the chat box or by unmuting what might be transformational leadership? Preeti Uttamji, can you speak, please? What do you feel is transformational leadership?
Yes, so certainly I would feel that transformational kind of leadership would be any such leadership which takes the team members from ground. They just take the developmental level of that particular team to a certain level. That is what my understanding of transformational leadership says.
Great, great. Let's have a round of applause for Preeti ji. Very rightly put by her, quite close. So, transformational leadership is the style of leadership that inspires and motivate the team to achieve extraordinary outcome just by creating a shared vision. Like if you put forward that, okay, team, we have to achieve this. And then the leader can inspire and motivate the team to achieve that particular outcome. That is what is called transformational leadership, where a transformation of people happen. Here, the leader will focus on the personal and professional growth of the team members. If I talk about the legal context, let us say a senior advocate, he mentors his juniors, inspiring them to take on some challenging cases and think beyond conventional methods, right? Bringing out the transformation in that junior is what a transformational leadership style is. The key traits of this leadership style would be the leader is a visionary, he's very inspiring, and he's very, very innovative as well, right? The second style I would like to talk about is transactional relationship leadership. Can someone tell what do they think would transactional leadership would be? Ashraf ji, would you like to share? Ashraf Yusuf ji, would you like to share? What do you think would be transactional leadership style? You are on mute, sir. You are on mute. Okay, anyone else would like to share? Transactional leadership. Sharing thoughts and information between leader and members. transactional. Yes, quite close. Namrata ji, let's have a round of applause for Namrata ji for putting in what she feels, focused on the achievement. Yes. So a transactional leadership style is that leadership style which focuses on structure, right? I have a reward for you doing something right, and I have a penalty for you doing something wrong, right? So carrot and stick approach. That is a very transactional leadership. You do something good, I reward you. You do something wrong, I penalize you, right? Leaders will set clear goals and they will expect performance based on those agreements. If I want you to achieve X in Y time, you need to achieve X in Y time. That is a transactional leadership. If you do that, I will reward you. If you are unable to do that, I will penalize you. If I talk about in legal context, let us say we have a big firm and the managing partner of the firm, he ensures the associates that if you meet the billable hour targets, I will reward you for exceeding the expectations, right? If you do so much of billable hours, I will reward you for meeting my expectations. That will be a more transactional. Transaction is what the word transaction itself says. I give you something, you give me back something. So that is the style of leadership that I have certain goals, you achieve those goals and you get rewarded, right? The key traits of this leadership styles are they are goal oriented, organized and systematic. The next style I would like to talk about is the servant leadership style. These kind of leaders prioritizes the needs of their teams, right? Team first. They foster collaboration, trust, and ethical behavior. They will say, this is the goal we need to achieve. Okay, you are not able to do it, I'll do it for you, right? This is the kind of leadership that such leaders exhibit. If I talk about the legal context, an example might be people who are into, the legal professionals who are working as community volunteers, right? Or taking up cases on pro bono, right? So a legal aid advocate who dedicates some time to train and empower such people. That mode of leadership would be a servant leadership, right? A serving mentality. So the key traits are empathy, humility, and supportiveness, right? So transformational leadership that fosters transformation among the team members. Transactional, which is more of a give and take relationship. Servant leadership, which is more of a serving mentality by the leader. The next style of leadership is the most dreaded one, authoritative, right? Authoritative leadership. Who can tell me what might this be? Authoritative leadership. Bhuvneshwari ma'am, would you like to speak something on it?
Maybe commanding, sir.
Commanding. Yes, absolutely. Leaders take charge in this kind of leadership. They set a clear direction, expect compliance, right? Expect compliance. I have said this needs to be done. That is authoritative. Now, the word in itself breeds some sort of negativity. Do you all agree? Right? Do you all agree now that the word itself breeds some kind of negativity, but it is also sometimes very important, especially in crisis situation. How would you want the team to behave when you are in a crisis? At that time, for example, in the army scenario, if we say, whenever a general has issued an order, he wants that order to be fulfilled because that order has been taken on the back of a lot of planning and strategy. And now nobody can come and say, okay, we don't want this, let's do this, let's try this. That can't be said because it's a matter of life and death. So at certain times, authoritative leadership also has to be practiced. So it is often used in crisis situations because quick decisions are needed and one person has to be in charge at all times, right? So in legal context, a courtroom lawyer he just go out and confidently, he directs his team that, okay, this person I feel is not guilty. You prepare a strong defense in this high stake litigation, right? No if and but, no discussions. I believe he's not guilty. Let's prepare a case in that sense. So that is an authoritative leadership. Okay, I believe this, you prepare the case accordingly. So the key traits here are decisiveness, commanding, and assertive. Another leadership style is democratic. Now this is totally different to, or 180-degree opposite to the authoritative thing, right? Guruji, would you like to share what do you understand from this democratic leadership style? Guru Kiranji? You're on mute, sir. You are on mute, sir. Okay, I believe he is unable to unmute himself. So democratic, as the name suggests, India is a democratic country as well. So a democratic style of leadership is the one where a leader will encourage the team participation in every decision making. But he maintains the final authority, right? He maintains the final authority, but he will encourage the team participation in decision making. This style is basically aimed at building consensus, right? And since everybody is a part of the decision making, so it fosters creativity as well, right? For example, a law professor who involves students in case study discussions. Many of you are professors, so you put forward a case study, you let everyone think about it, you let everyone come up with creative solutions, you let everyone come up with creative, for and against the case, and let them contribute to the analysis and the solutions. So that is a more democratic style of leadership. The key traits would be inclusiveness, collaboration, and empowering nature of the leader. And lastly, I would like to talk about the laissez-faire leadership style. Laissez-faire comes from a word which means allow to take action, right? So this kind of leadership style gives the team complete freedom, total freedom to make decisions and execute their task with minimal interference. This needs to be done. Rest is up to you how you do it. Complete freedom, right? But this kind of leadership is effective only when the team is highly skilled, right? For example, a surgeon performing a surgery cannot let the junior say, this is my leadership style, you have the complete authority, do whatever you want to do. Because again, there is a matter of life and death, right? But yes, if a person is doing an operation with a team of highly skilled doctors, he cannot tell others to do what he should say, okay, do like this, do like that, because they also are equally skilled. So that at that time, the laissez-faire leadership style will work. In the legal context, if I say, if a senior lawyer working with juniors, if he allows those associates to manage client interactions independently, okay, Amit is coming, this is the case, I allow you that you interact with Amit independently, okay, and take on the case and just come back to me with a final report. That's it. Do the interaction independently. That is what would be a laissez-faire style of leadership. These kind of leaders are trusting, they are hands-off, and they are empowering as well, right? So transformational, transactional, servant, authoritative, democratic, and laissez-faire are few leadership styles that I would like to discuss. But if you go through the textures, if you go through the research, if you do some research on internet, you would find dozens of styles. But these are something which you would find mostly, and others you will find with different names, but in the same vein, right? So which one you feel, yes, very rightly said Snigdhaji, participative, which one you feel should be a leader's preferred choice of leadership style? Just write in the chat box. Which one of these you feel should be a leader's preferred choice of leadership style? Looking for few answers in the chat box. Democratic, okay. Transformational, a mix of all. Democratic, transformational, servant leadership, democratic, even servant. Yes, Bhuvneshwari ma'am. Transactional. Yes, absolutely. Since, why we do not have a common consensus in the chat box? One very simple reason for that. Because a leader has to practice each one of these styles at different times in different situations. Right? So let me just put forward through a case study with you. Right? In the legal context only. Can someone read this out for me? Who can unmute and read it out? Srinivas ji, can you read it out, sir?
Yes, I shall read.
Please go ahead, sir. Please read.
Yes, case study. The leadership challenge of handling a high stakes legal case. Scenario: Advocate Meera Sharma, a senior partner at a leading law firm, is managing a high profile corporate fraud case involving millions of rupees. The case has drawn media attention, and the client is under immense pressure to clear their name. Meera's team consists of a mix of experienced lawyers and young associates. As the deadline for the court hearing approaches, the team faces the following challenges. Challenge number one: conflict within the team. The senior associates disagree on the best strategy, causing delays in the preparation. Challenge number two: stress and burnout. Junior associates are overwhelmed by the long hours and intense workload. Challenge number three: client demands. The client expects regular updates and reassurances, adding to the team's stress. Challenge number four: media pressure. The media is scrutinizing every move, making it crucial to maintain confidentiality and avoid mistakes.
Great.
So the leadership.
Thank you, sir. Let's have a round of applause for sir. For
కారం స్వీట్లు తిన్నదన్నావుగా మిక్చర్ కారం తెచ్చా
can you please mute yourself? Okay, so what we are going to now do is I'm again going just the context of this case. That's a high stake case. Advocate Meera Sharma, who is a senior partner at a leading law firm, she is managing a high profile corporate fraud case, right? Her team consists of experienced as well as young associate lawyers, right? Experienced lawyers and young associates. Deadline is approaching and the team is facing the following challenges. There is conflict within the team. They are not agreeing on the best strategy. There is stress and burnout. Junior associates, they are overwhelmed by the long hours. Client is very demanding. He is wanting regular updates and reassurances. That is leading to the workload of the team, right? And then there is media pressure, right? The media is scrutinizing each and every move of the case, measuring each and everything that is happening during the case, right? So what I'm going to now do is I'm going to put you in breakout rooms for 3 to 4 minutes, right? There will be 3-4 people in every breakout room. You need to discuss on these few questions. How should Meera address this internal conflict? What steps can she take to manage the stress and burnout among the associates? How can she balance the client's demands while keeping her team focused? And what is the leadership style which will be most effective for Meera in this situation? Right? So I will be asking 3 or 4 people once you join back that what was the unanimous decision of your breakout room. So as soon as you go into a breakout room, choose one leader in the breakout room who will direct everything, right? And then when you come back, I will ask 2 or 3 of the leaders to speak up and say what was the decision of the your breakout room. Is it good? So shall I open up the breakout rooms? Okay.
Sir, I made a host.
Yes, sir. I am doing it. Ji.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we are going to be 3 or 4 participants in the breakout room. Everyone will get a prompt on their screen to join a breakout room, right? Everyone will get a prompt on their screen to join the breakout room. As soon as you get the prompt, just click on join the room. It will be there on your screens now. Now, please. Would request everyone to join the room, please. Guru Kiran ji, Anusha ji, Ashrat ji, Yashas, Balasubramaniam ji, Sarfaraz ji, Shweta ji, you would have got a prompt on your screen. Please join the breakout room and discuss about this case. I would request everyone to please join the breakout rooms. There might be some prompts on your screens. Those who are here can just look at the case and also put forward their views once everyone is back from the breakout rooms, so that we can also hear from you what is your opinion on this. Ashraf, you did not join any breakout room, sir? You didn't get the prompt? You are on mute, sir. आप mute पर हैं.
Is in this case, authority leadership is the best solution.
Okay.
Okay,
Sir,
there are
according
different
to
persons.
me,
I'll just ask one by one. Otherwise, everyone
okay,
will speak and we won't be able to understand. Okay, who is going first? Just raise your
can
hand.
sir? Can I, Dr. Bhuneshwar here?
Yes, ma'am. Bhuvneshwari ji, please go ahead. And
Yes,
then
sir.
please.
Yes, sir. So we were two in the breakout room, me and Dr. Gopal, sir. So we thought that if there is a delegation of the functions and work, so it will be better to handle the conflict. So if Meera can delegate the work to some of her seniors to prepare the case, they can concentrate on preparing the case. Some of the juniors to update the client what they are doing and what is going on the case. And some of the juniors may handle the media also to say that this is the update or this is the status of our case, which we are doing and trying to solve the problem. So this definitely Meera can do and assign the work when she can delegate.
Absolutely great. Let's have a round of applause for Bhuvneshwari ji and her team.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Preeti ji, please go ahead.
Yes, sir, me and Guru Kiran sir was there. So we were discussing on 2 points. Like, sir was of the opinion that we might go with the laissez-faire kind of leadership. And in contrast to him, I was having the opinion that we might go with the democratic one because the inclusiveness matters a lot. Because in the given problem, the conflict amongst the team members was also highlighted. So if we are not going to address the conflict amongst the team members, that is going to be a huge ruckus at a later stage. So that was our opinion, sir.
Okay, great. Let's have a round of applause for Guru Kiran ji and Preeti ji. Ji, Joseph ji, please go ahead. If you can also open your camera, that would be great. Yes, Joseph sir, please.
Yes, good evening, everyone. See, actually, we were only two in our room, and we had an effective discussion. And regarding the first point, the Meera has to take into take into confidence the senior colleagues, and there should be effective discussion, open discussion as to the every detail of the case. Then they can arrive at a common consensus. Otherwise, it would be very difficult if the team itself is divided in the effective as to which effective strategy has to be taken. So that was our first point. Second one, in order to tackle the problem of the overstress difficulty, and there also Meera can discuss the problem with the junior associates and take their feedback and how to overcome that difficult situation. And as it is already pointed out by some of the speakers, they can depute somebody to regularly to give the regular feedbacks to the client. And our final point is this: if the team is confident enough and if they are looking after the case in an effective way, there is no need of any panic as to the media attention. Whatever be the media hike, if they are proceeding in the right direction and if they are competent enough, nothing will happen and nobody can touch them. Thank you, sir.
Let's have a round of applause for Joseph ji and his team as well. Great, sir, great. So you are more inclined towards the democratic mode of leadership, be it with seniors or it with juniors, but let everyone be heard, put forward their, and then let's make a decision, right? So more of a democratic stance. I can allow one last sharing if anyone wants to share, otherwise I'll move ahead. Okay, so I think anyone else wants to share. So let me.
Strategy at
Yes, Srinivas ji, please go ahead.
at at the time of making strategy, it is seniors must be involved, sir.
Mm-hmm.
At execution level, there may be lasses where policy is to be there. That's it.
Right. Absolutely. A great round of applause for Srinivas ji as well. So, and also for some people who have put their answers in the chat box. Thanks for that as well. I would love to hear everyone's opinion. If you were in a breakout room, please type in the chat box what was your opinion or your room's opinion about how the case should be handled. Now, point here is, since we all feel that different type of leadership styles would have worked over here, right? The point is that, again, coming to the same thing, single kind of leadership style will not survive forever, right? Or will not do the for you. At times, you have to be authoritative. At times, you have to be democratic. At times, you have to inspire your team so that you have to be transformational. At times, you have to, have the carrot and stick approach also, the transactional leadership style also. So it is the case to case basis wherein the same person has to act as a different kind of leader. He has to be transformational, transactional, servant, authoritative, democratic. Every style has to be incorporated, right? It is up to you to decide what kind of leadership does the current situation requires and then act accordingly. But the point here is, if we are ignorant to the fact that there are these many different leadership styles, we can never practice them, right? Unconscious incompetence, what we call in educational parlance, unconscious incompetence. I do not know that something like this is there, then how can I practice it? If I do not know that America is a country worth visiting, will I ever dream of visiting America? No. Similarly, if I do not know that different situations demands a leader to be a different kind of a leader, I will not act differently. I would always want and act in a single vein only. So that is why it is very important for you to understand that there are different leadership styles and different situations demands a different you as a leader, right? Now, all of you have seen Chuck the India. Everyone has seen Chuck the India, one of the most, I would say, inspiring movie of the country. Okay, beyond barriers of language, but one of the greatest movie ever produced. So what I want you to have a look at this clip that I'm going to play. And again, let's discuss after that few points about leadership after we have seen this video, right? Are you all ready? Give me a thumbs up in the chat box if you are ready to see the clip. Tripti ji, thank you. Bhuvneshwari ji, thank you. I want to see 3-4 more thumbs up or yeses. Otherwise, I will feel that you people do not want to see this clip. Yes, thank you so much. So here it goes. Let's have a round of applause for the movie. It really made us feel proud. So what leadership qualities stood out to you in this clip? How do you see Shah Rukh Khan and what were the qualities as a leader? I don't want answers like he's so cute and he's so handsome, all like that. I don't want answers like that. As a leader, what qualities stood out to you? You can write in the chat box or you can unmute and speak. Vision says Sarajji. Okay. Goal. Absolutely. Commanding. Yes, at times he was commanding.
So,
Yes, ma'am, please. Go.
Yes, sir. So I would like to say here that like as you were discussing earlier, in this particular clip, we have seen that a coach or a leader can be, sometimes be transformational. It could be transactional. It could be, democratic. So, the amalgamation of all the kinds of leadership was there, which was portrayed in this particular clip. That was my opinion, sir.
Let's have a round of applause for Preeti ji and everyone who is putting in the things in the chat box. Commanding says Chitra ji, Pragnya ji says motivated. Bhavna ji says inclusion of team. Ashraf ji says authoritative. Bhuvneshwari ji says authoritative. Belief says Tripti ji, determination. Joseph ji. Ashraf ji again says transformative. Snigdha ji says receptive, active listener, open to different opinions, has empathy, allowed participation, strict when needed, and flexible in different leadership styles, and so on. Great. So he was penalizing. Preeti came late. He asked him to, go around the ground. So it is transactional. You do something wrong, I penalize you. Right? He was more transformational also. People who had no belief in themselves, he was able to inspire them. Right? He was democratic also. While they were fighting, he let them fight. Ki karo jo karna hai. It's okay. So all these things that we saw were there in this only clip. Though it was a trailer of an entire movie, and if you go through the movie again, after this session today, you would be able to make out, ki, okay, here he is being transformational. Here he is being transactional. Here he is being democratic, right? But all those things have to be in the leader. And that is why I say it is not one size fits all. A leader has to be an amalgamation of various leadership styles because he has to pull those tricks out of his hat as the situation requires, right? It is time now for a self-reflection. Take a moment to reflect on your own leadership journey. What is that one quality that you feel you need to develop further? Write it down along with one action step you will take to start working on it. If you are bold enough, brave enough, share it in the chat box. But yourself and be it a a leading stone for yourself, right? But if you are bold enough, please go ahead, write in the chat box and I will also read it out. Or if you want to send it to me directly over a personal message in Zoom, you can send it to me directly also. But at least one thing, we always say knowing is not doing. You all have invested the most valuable resource that you have, your time, over the past 1 hour with me. If you do not go back with one action step, and if you do not take action on it, the greatest resource you have will have gone wasted. Because till today evening, probably 1 hour or 2 hours, you will remember something of this session. But by tomorrow, you will be engrossed in your daily chores and you would have forgotten everything. But if there is something written on that paper, okay, I want to do this. Srinivas MP needs to do this in himself. That is one thing that will stay with you and bring some change. So Joseph ji says open and democratic. Okay, Srinivas MP ji says authoritative in nature. He feels he is. He will try to be democratic. I applaud you, each and everyone who is writing in the open chat box, all these things. Bhuvneshwari ji says, I wanted to be authoritative. Preeti ji says authoritative. Great. It is for yourself. It is not for me to read. It is not for anyone else to read. It is for you, yourself, to bring that change. In conclusion, I would like to say that leadership is a continuous journey. It is a journey of growth, self-awareness, and learning. It's not about perfection. It is all about progress. And remember, the most inspiring leaders are those who uplift others and who lead by example. Everyone else will perish, but those who uplift others and lead by example would always stay and be remembered as great leaders. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any question and answer, I would be happy to answer them. I have a few resources for you. You can take a quick screenshot of this screen, right? So that it helps you to continue this learning. I have compiled these list of few great books on leadership. If not all, start by one, buy one of them, or download a PDF copy and start reading them. Every book will bring a great change in your mindset and be a, stepping stone in your journey to greatness in leadership. That is my guarantee. If you have any questions, please go ahead. You can drop your questions in the chat box, or yes, thank you so much, Tripti ji. That brings me to this slide. I have already have this slide in my presentation. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn, where I keep on posting a lot of stuff. And you can connect with me on Instagram as well, because I post the same stuff on Instagram as well. So it would be a pleasure to connect with you across social media platforms. And do, you have my number on the screen as well. You can get my number from Kalpesh ji as well. Please feel free to reach out. I am more than happy. I am an educationist first. I have been an educationist for 17 years before I became a corporate trainer and a business coach for the last 7 years now. So education is something that is always near to my heart, and I am always available for any query that you might have. Thank you so much, Snigdha ji. That is a huge appreciation and acknowledgement to me that you felt my session was the best out of all. Thank you so much. Servant leadership always works adversely. What is your say on that? Okay. So what I feel, if you want to ask me my genuine, opinion on this, Bhuvneshwari ji, I would actually say that it's not that it always works adversely. It is not that servant leadership will always work adversely. Sometimes, you have to work with that servant mentality. If you fail to, foster that collaborative spirit of the team, then sometimes you are unable to achieve the desired target. Yes, you should not always be that with that mentality, but no, I want to believe this thing that it is always detrimental. It can be detrimental at many stages, but knowing you, seeing you, and the way you have put things in the chat box that you want to be more authoritative, I would like to say that probably you have more of servant leader mindset of your own, which you probably need to change now that you know that you have to have the different mindsets in different situations. So you need to change that. Yes, you would have faced some, some things that has not gone your way because of such mindset. But now I want you to be more authoritative at times, and having a servant leadership attitude at times as well, whenever it demands. That is what I feel. Thank you so much, Tripti ji, for your appreciation.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It's an excellent session, sir. It's an excellent session.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joseph ji. Means a lot to me, ji. Thank you so much. Thank you. It really means a lot, sir, jo aapne likha hai.
Yeah, Father Joseph is a director in JSS Law College. So he has been attending all the session religiously, I would say. So
okay.
He attended some other participants. They keep, attending all the programs. So religious, and especially from my side also, it was one of the best session, I would say, on the leadership I've attended so far.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm humbled. I'm humbled by these words of each and every one of you that you have put in the chat box, and whatever you are saying, Kalpesh ji. Thank you so much. So over to you, sir. All from my side, if no more questions.
Sure. Right. Any last question, last opportunity for you, any one of you? You can unmute already yourself. Any question from both? Yeah, please.
Father Joseph, I have a last question. Say, in some of the organizations, we find uh, some kind of a clique or a caucus. They work against the system, or they have their own vested interests. It's very difficult to tackle. Maybe some 4 or 5 people staying together and polluting the whole system. How can we tackle such people?
There are two approaches to this thing, sir. That the question that you have asked, there are two approaches to this question. One thing is it only me who thinks that there is a certain lobby who is working against the system? Or actually there is a lobby who is working against the system? If it is only me who thinks that there are people working against the system, then probably I need to consult with more people to find out if there are people who share my opinion, right? But if it is actually a problem, then you have to be an authoritative leader, right? It is better to, filter out the entire water than let it rot over time. Again, I'll come back to the quote that I have said earlier. Leadership is not a popularity contest. Your decisions have not to be popular, they have to be right. If you really find people who are working against the system, then you need to do something about them. I don't know, in various situations, various things can be done and various cannot be done. For example, there might be a situation where you are unable to, move someone out of the system because of constraints of employment and all other things. But you need to take certain strict action on them so that at least the committees who handle the disciplinary issues are aware that there are people who are working against the system, even if you are not able to do anything else. This is what I feel.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Over to boardroom. Yeah.
Sir, with your permission, can we proceed with the vote of thanks, sir? The end part of our session today. Amit sir, Kalpesh sir.
Yeah,
please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Amit sir. Amit Bansal. Sir has given a talk on leadership aspects. Sir has taken our views. Sir has also involved the participants in various effective aspects of leadership training, how to become a leader, how to have a leadership quality. Of course, sir has begun with Nani Palkiwala's quote, and I'm damn sure that most of us would have been benefited a lot from this particular proactive session. The participants aspect which they have put it in the chat box itself is a witnessing aspect that they have learned a lot from this particular session. Now I request Mohit, final year student of BA LLB, to propose vote of thanks for Amit Bansal sir, business coach. Over to you, Mohit.
Good evening to everyone present here. Before going to vote of thanks, I would like to quote wording given by Valency Bennings. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. And this shows the reality of how leadership is being working. And coming to the vote of thanks, it gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this 8th day session of soft skill program for law students and legal professions. On behalf of JSS Law College, Mysuru and Law Teachers India, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Amit Bansal, business coach, for us and enlightening a session on effective leadership.
Thank you, sir.
Your insights have been truly inspiring and shall be everlasting knowledge for the participants who are all present here. I would also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Dr. Kalpesh Gupta, who is an enthusiastic person who is working continuously for making the session successful. I would also like to express my gratitude to all the participants without whom this program would not be as successful for their active involvement in this session. Last, once again, I would like to thank everyone who are present in the boardroom for their active involvement to make this program successful and for the for their contribution to make this program a successful program. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhuvaneshwari ma'am. Bhuvaneshwari ma'am has appreciated our efforts, Kalpesh sir and JSS Law College efforts.
Yes,
Thank you,
okay.
sir. Thank you, ma'am. And of course, our senior faculty, Professor Nagendra Murthy sir has also joined us, who has appreciated this particular session. Sir, I'm damn sure that the treasure which is being given in this session is worth memorable. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Kalpesh
Thank you.
for
Thank
the
you.
opportunity to interact.
Thank you, Asma.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Look forward to see you, sir. Thank you.